This is a menu item that I developed for a gastropub with locations in Russia and Germany. Pork is very popular in both countries, but this is nothing like your simple fried pork chop. It's pretty easy to make, but it does need some time for the flavors to all meld together well. Like most of my recipes here, this can be prepared in advance and reheated in a steam oven on demand with excellent results, which speeds service in a restaurant with a large menu and a small kitchen.
Going to begin by grinding the spices. I've got the caraway seeds, coriander seeds, brown sugar, black peppercorns, and dark brown or black mustard seeds. In addition to the ground spices, we've got half a dozen cloves of garlic. I'm going to just cut these up into halves just to make it a little bit easier on the grinding. And I've got half of red chili, which I'm going to scrape out so that it's not too hot. And into the grinding cup, along with the garlic and the red chili, I'm going to add the vegetable oil, the spices that were ground up, and from a jar of pickles, about an ounce, 30 milliliters of the juice from that. I have to taste a little bit. If your pickled juice was really salty, you might not need to add very much more salt. This was not very salty, so I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt to this, having just tasted it. And the other side as well. It's been 2 hours now at room temperature, and I'm going to got the pan on the next to me hot here, and I'm just going to scrape off the excess of this marinade. We're going to use it, don't get rid of it. Just scrape it into the pan here. And it's got plenty of oil on it already because of the amount of oil that was in the marinade. Into the hot pan. One piece at a time so that we make sure that we get maximum amount of heat in there. We're going to sear them each one at a time, and then we'll return all three to the pan. I have the heat set on 9. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's on a 9. So you're looking for good searing here. And we've got the last piece of pork browned. This is what they look like, by the way. Let's set this off to the side. Now I'm going to put those onions in, coarsely chopped, 120 grams, and I'm lowering the heat down to 5. Okay, and after just a couple of minutes here, now we're going to scrape out the rest of the marinade from the pan. Put that in here. Return the meat to the pan. Along with any juices that ran off. And now, the ale. And we get a lid on this. And now I'm going to turn the heat down even further, down to 2 on 1 to 10. Not even quite 2, about 1 3/4. And we're just going to let this simmer. This will simmer furiously for the first few minutes, but then of course as the temperature in the pan comes down, because the temperature of the stove has been turned way down to 1 3/4, this will go to a slow, gradual simmer. After about 45 minutes, remove the lid and let it begin to reduce, let the cooking liquid begin to reduce down. After the rest of the time, cooking time, we're going to transfer these to a plate, let them rest, and then increase the heat some more on this to reduce it down until it's thick. Just take the sage and a little fresh onion, just mix it up on the board here. It's kind of like a gremolata. Then plating.
Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.